incredible, amazing doll!
Hey bronies, they're here once again with another fanfic. With me is John,
Hi.
and we are going to read Lyra and Bonbon's Odd Jobs. Another mature content fanfic. It's not considered a clopfic, but whatever. It's a long ass story. It's got 9 chapters. Every part of this will be one chapter, one video. So read along if you like. Let's begin. Oh yeah, chapter 1, Laughing All the Way to the Bank. Ponyville was in the middle of the worst recession it has seen in decades. Stallions and mares were having a difficult time finding gainful employment, as there were hardly any jobs to be had anywhere. Amidst the uncertain economic times, a mink-colored unicorn and a cream-colored earth pony walked down the winding dirt road in search of new jobs. Ponyville's cutest couple, Lyra and Bonbon, were some of the hardest hit by the recession. When money gets tight, the luxuries of life are the first things to go. Lyra couldn't book any performances to play her harp. The lounges and nightclubs in Ponyville could no longer afford live entertainment in their businesses and had switched to a more economical option of pre-recorded music. Repeated rejection had started to demotivate the mare. As Lyra spent more time at home, it was up to Bonbon to pay the bills. In spite of her best efforts, the mare's main career as a comedian was floundering. In these depressing times, ponies needed a laugh, so comedians were in high demand. Even though this was her time to shine, Bonbon was unable to make her act work. Due to feeling depressed herself, she struggled to find the humor in everyday scenarios, and lacked any enthusiasm to deliver them to an audience. Without any new comedy gigs lined up, Bonbon fell back on her childhood love of cooking. Even this was proving difficult as her specialties, bonbons, were not big sellers. Bonbon insisted on using only the finest ingredients in her creations. Ponies weren't willing to pay her high prices for fancy sweets. Before long, the couple's savings had run out, and they were in desperate need of money. Lyra followed Bonbon's lead as she steered them towards potential employment. As they walked, they continued their heated debate, which had been going on sporadically for weeks now. "Quit your complaining," Bonbon said. "I'm tired of watching you sit around the house all day." "I'm sorry if the way I sit weirds you out," Lyra said defensively. "Reclining just feels better on my back." "The way you sit isn't the problem," Bonbon replied. "The bottom line is we both need to find work. Fortunately for you, I took some initiative and got us both job interviews." Bonbon had always been more pragmatic of the two. She paid the bills and wrote the checks. At least she did when they had the money. Lyra, on the other hand, could not be described as a self-starter. Bonbon had to motivate her mare friend to even agree to this job interview. In spite of these flaws, Lyra wasn't exactly lazy. When she felt passionately about something, there was no holding her back. Bonbon sometimes felt like Lyra was a rocket. All Bonbon had to do was light a fire under her mare friend. That must work. Once Lyra caught the spark, then all Bonbon had to do was hold on and try to keep up. "But why have us apply at a bank?" Lyra asked. "I'm not good with fancy mathematics. If ponies were meant to count, we would have been born with fingers." Bonbon ignored the allusion to Lyra's obsession with hands. Dwelling on it would only make things worse. "I'll be grateful for any job we can get," Bonbon said, refocusing the subject. As they walked, Bonbon tried to not lose her temper. She knew that Lyra wanted a job as much as she did. Her mare friend just had a bad habit of occasionally shirking her responsibilities. Lyra looked at Bonbon and smiled back and said, "Being a grown mare is tough sometimes. Things were simpler when they were fillies." "When we were fillies," Lyra said nostalgically. "Remember when we were little and we had our first lemonade stand? Now there was an easy way to make some money." Bonbon smiled as she reflected on their past together. Little Lyra with her crazy get-rich-quick schemes, and little Bonbon always along for the ride. "I remember wanting to turn her stand into a full-fledged restaurant," Bonbon said, giggling. "I made boxed lunches with daisy sandwiches and a side order of hay fries, with a glass of fresh lemonade to drink," Lyra added. "We sold a ton of Lyra and Bonbon's famous stuffed boxes that summer." The disharmony between the two mares was forgotten as they took a moment to talk about how happy their lives had been together. As they stepped out into the clearing, they saw a foreboding-looking white building. It had large glass windows on either side and in front of its glass doors. "Here we are," Bon said as they reached their destination, Ponyville Cryobank. What's a cryobank? Lyra asked. Did they mean like cryogenics? Ever the comedian, Bon let loose with a couple of bad puns. I bet they deal a lot of cold and hard cash, the Earth Pony said, snickering. This must be where they store frozen assets. Lyra did a face hoof. She had never forgotten her mare friend's unique brand of comedy, even if it was successful. A pony who would pun would pick a pocket, Lyra said in a deadpan voice. I'm sorry, Bon said, wiping away a mirthful tear from her eyes. I've always had a soft spot for bad puns. Besides, you love making terrible jokes as much as I do. There's a difference, Lyra said. My jokes are funny. You go for the low-hanging fruit. Bon stuck her tongue out petulantly at her mare friend. Damn. Suddenly remembering why they were here in the first place, the two mares looked up at the sterile and intimidating-looking building. Lyra and Bon's careers had both been centered around entertainment, either through music or comedy. Neither were excited about fitting themselves into the mold of the bank teller. They wanted jobs that allowed them to express their creativity, but due to the demand of entertainers being at an all-time low, a job at a bank will have to do for now. A fun place to work, Lyra said sarcastically, if you're into mausoleums. All banks are supposed to look like this, Bon assured her. That sterile, clean environment lets everybody know that their money is safe here. Now we're just gonna go in there and put our best hoof forward. We need these jobs. Lyra grabbed the door and took a deep breath. Oh, Lyra, Bon said quietly, one more thing. Please, whatever you do, don't mention your theories about humans during the job interview. Lyra gave a grimace. I won't, she said, smirking. We got to act normal, right? As the mint unicorn held the door open for her mare friend, neither of them realized that they were walking into Ponyville's only sperm bank. As they entered the lobby, they surveyed the bank's interior. There were lots of posters of happy families and mothers cradling their foals. Boy, they sure amped up on their family friendliness to factor to 11, don't they? Lyra muttered as she glanced at the various displays. The two mares were soon greeted by a yellow nurse pony with a striped blue mane. Her cutie mark was a white cross with 4 small pink hearts in the corner. Hello, the nurse said. My name is Coalheart. I'm the head nurse at the Ponyville Cryobank. Why would a nurse work at a bank? Lyra asked. Maybe she had no patience for her previous job, Bon said, unable to contain herself. Sorry, that was bad. This is so dumb. The bad joke. Lyra gave a face hoof and sighed. And you were worried about me embarrassing us, the unicorn whispered to her mare friend. Bon blushed. It's all right, Coalheart said, humoring the mare. In this profession, you get used to ponies poking fun at what you do. Bon had never considered the life of a banker to be that humorous. But as Coalheart talked about how many jokes were made about her career, Bon began to get more and more excited. Maybe this is what my comedy act needs, Bon thought. The humorous observations of a bank teller. I bet working in a bank you have a lot of jokers coming in and asking for free samples, Lyra said. Bon made a mental note to use that joke in her act. Not as many as you think, Coalheart replied, smiling. Now, what can I help you with today? Are you too interested in making a withdrawal? How can we do that? Lyra asked. We haven't even deposited anything yet. I wouldn't expect you to, Nose Coalheart said, chuckling. Wow, Lyra said, surprised. How do you stay open with a business model like that? We're actually doing quite well, Coalheart said proudly. Business has been so good that we've had to turn away several potential donations. Bon wasn't concerned about the bank's business practices. As long as they paid their employees, that's all that mattered to her at this point. Actually, we're not here today to open an account, Bon said. We were hoping to apply for an open job position. Damn, I can't even speak right. Oh, of course, Coalheart said. Follow me. The nurse pulled out some application forms from behind the front desk and gestured for the mares to sit down at the table. When Lyra and Bon had filled out their personal information, Coalheart discussed with them the particulars of their bank. I suppose you're familiar with what we deal in here? Coalheart asked. I should be, Lyra said confidentially. I handle this stuff every day. You do? Coldheart asked hesitantly. Oh yeah, Bonbon said. We had loads of experience generating it in our previous jobs. Coldheart stared at the two mares awkwardly. Our first real exposure came when we were just little fillies selling our boxes in the street corner. Wait, Bonbon said. No, that doesn't sound right. This is so not right. This is so not right. Uh, oh my, Cohart said, blushing. You poor dears. You were that desperate for money at such a young age? It was actually kind of fun. I'm sorry, everybody. It's so not right. Lyra said, I remember our big break came when we sold our goods in front of this construction site. Coldheart's complexion went pale as the mayor continued the story. The whole crew was hot and sweaty. Bombot added, those stallions were all hungry to get a taste of our boxes. They completely, yeah, they completely ate us out. Jesus. Celestia, I meant to say. Lyra said, smiling. All of the construction workers blew their wads on our stuffed boxes until they were completely spent. We left them satisfied and made off with our ton of cash that day. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
That's so not right. Especially because they're little fillies that they're saying. After hearing such a lucrative account, Noja's cohort faced burned Chrisman. So, we would be assisting ponies when they come and make a deposit? Exactly, come. Bonbon asked. I've been told I'm great at customer service. It doesn't matter what openings are available, Lyra said. We'd take any position. Nurse Cohart could tell that she was being mocked. We have no need of your services here, Coldheart said indignantly. This is not a horse house. Sorry. We are at a respectable institution where stallions are paid to discreetly provide us with samples. Samples? Lyra said. What kind of bank is this? A sperm bank! Cohart snapped, and I won't have you mocking this institution. Lyra and Bonbon stared at the nurse through a large weight had just hit them. Bonbon blushed as she had never been so embarrassed. Lyra, on the other hand, couldn't help but burst out laughing. You got us applications to a sperm bank? Lyra said to her mare friend, giddy with laughter. The unicorn looked at Nurse Cohart, trying to keep a straight face. Do you guys give out a free toaster when some pony opens an account? Lyra asked the nurse. Or would a hot dog warmer would be more appropriate? Ha ha ha. If you're not serious about the jobs, then please leave. Nurse Cohart said curtly, recovering from her stunned silence. Bonbon finally found her voice. No, please, Bonbon said. We need this. This was all misunderstanding. We thought this was a regular bank. You thought this was a... Cohart began and burst out laughing herself. The nurse had never participated in such a farcical... I can't pronounce that. Job interview before. Lyra and Bonbon looked at each other awkwardly as Coldheart continued laughing. Oh my, no, the nurse said, recovering from her fit of giggles. I totally had the wrong idea about you two. Lyra and Bonbon glanced at each other and smiled nervously at the nurse. Even though this isn't what you were expecting, Coldheart said, are you still interested in the jobs? Bonbon looked at Lyra. The unicorn returned her glance and gave a non-committable shrug. The Bonbon inhaled a deep breath through her nose. Yes, she said confidentially. We'll take the jobs.